Thank you, Mr. Chairman. While we are on the subject of quotations, I'd like to offer the committee one of my own.
Oh, okay.
In response to a correspondent, the great writer Mark Twain said, quote, "I notice that you use plain, simple language, short words, brief sentences. That is the way to write English. It is the modern way and the best way. Stick to it. Don't let fluff and flowers and verbosity creep in. When you catch an adjective, kill it." Excellent. End quote. But I also want to follow on for another quote. Because of all of the discussion that we've had about the Royal Commission report, Woodhouse wrote these words, and I think they're the most enduring of all of them. He said, "Injury arising from accident demands an attack on three fronts. The most important is obviously prevention. Next in importance is the obligation to rehabilitate the injured. Thirdly, there is the duty to compensate for them for their losses." End quote. Now, having stressed that injury prevention was obviously the most important component of any framework, he then called the Royal Commission report compensation for personal injury in New Zealand. He didn't need the fluffery of adding injury prevention, rehabilitation, compensation, this, that and the next thing. He called it a simple title. The House of the time, in passing the legislation, did what? Did they call it an extra long title? No, they didn't. In highlighting the importance of injury prevention, Mr. Chairman, they said, let's call this Act the Accident Compensation Act, 1972. It's pretty simple stuff, really. There is so much more about that Act that does not need to be packed into the title. Because in 2001, when we gave it this name so long that the front page of the Act needed a concertina sort of a shape, what we were doing nobly, I think. I don't think anybody was under any illusions that the priorities were changing, but the goal of preventing injuries remained. Sadly, Mr. Chairman, we didn't seem to have much luck, and injury rates have continued to climb and rehabilitation rates have dropped, which is obviously the reason why we're in the House debating this bill. But let's call it what it is. This is the Accident Compensation Act. Nobody on the street understands it by any other name. They know ACC by what it is. Let's call it what it is, and let's resist any of this nonsense suggestions that by giving it a simple name, the government diminishes the importance of injury prevention. It simply isn't the case. Nobody believes it. Not even the opposition believes it, Mr. Chairman. And I really strongly support this change.